All right, I'm back. Sorry, no videos for a while. I was doing a little impromptu vacation road trip. I was checking out parts of the Erie Canal in upstate New York, where the Erie Canal crosses the Genesee River, and Letchworth State Park. I don't have pictures and stuff uploaded yet. And to be honest, I don't have anything terribly groundbreaking to show, but I have some interesting stuff. At least like pictures of really old concrete, parts of the old canal back in the woods, and some old concrete where you can really see when all the rebar rusts out, how it looks like blocks. How you can get that look of like stone, like fitted, perfectly fitted stones, but it's really just old concrete with the rebar all rusted out, leaving those lines. And I'm a carpenter. I've been out of work for a few weeks already. I usually work on a lot of like labs, medical facilities, hospitals and stuff, and they shut a lot of those jobs down a while ago, even before all these big national school shutdowns and whatnot started happening. So, I am now working on the farm, helping my wife, which is awesome. I wouldn't mind doing that the rest of my life anyway. Just working for what we eat. That's a good life.
That's Robert. Robert and Bruce. What's up, guys?
So, you know, life goes on. The record we got playing in the background is, the band is Rudimentary Peni. It's like 80s anarcho punk band from the UK. They were on the Crasses label. I really like this band. And this is from the jacket. You reach and touch it. You feel it. It is the life and love that is alive in you. The feeling that is beyond thought, a feeling of truth, reality in you. When it is reached, you can reach it in others. This is the liberation. This is the unity. And I like his picture here. He's got tons of awesome pictures. A lot of them are really dark and disturbing, but not this one. This one's just nice. And I know that this guy, I forget his name, the singer-writer of this band, but I know this guy's had some experiences. Just his picture here reminds me of some things I've seen. It's like the eyeball right up against the mirror. Eyeball Earth. He's got the Y stuff in here, and he gets it. He knows what's going on. Okay, so this might be a really short video. This might be the only thing I do in this video, just to get something back up. Say what's up to you guys. But, the Gideon Bible, the King James Bible. This is the Bible that I have. I've had for years. I took it from a hotel. One of these red hotel KJV Gideon Bibles. And this logo of the Gideons. This lamp with the fire, with the torch. Okay? What does this symbol mean exactly? Or basically I've seen a pattern of this symbol. I'm going to show you something. Okay, so you got the KJV Gideon Bibles. This is one of these Krishna books. I've read not all this stuff, but one of my best friends is a lifelong Hare Krishna. He's a good man. And like I said, I'm not afraid to read anything. I like reading all kinds of things. So these books, the main Hare Krishna books, which, came over in the 60s, this whole movement started with Prabhupada. He's this guy who brought all the Indian Hare Krishna stuff over. They used the Beatles to introduce it. This is interesting too, because the Beatles are with Prabhupada introducing Hare Krishna, all these Eastern religious concepts. And then you have the song Rocky Raccoon, where it mentions Gideon's Bible. And this is during the era that they're over there, Fool on the Hill, where they're studying with this guy and getting into the Hare Krishna stuff. And there's a link in the songs to the Gideon Bible. Okay? So I'm reading the Bible one day, and this Krishna book, this is just one of the Krishna books, just happens to be sitting over on the table while I'm reading the Bible. I see the Gideon logo, and I see the Krishna book out of the corner of my eye. And you see this here? The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. This is like a not-for-profit 501c3 type organization that distributes all the Hare Krishna literature. Like you see them at the airport handing out the pamphlets, selling their books, or you see them wherever, the train station, on South Street in Philly. But so in the way that the Gideons is this organization that distributes this particular translation of the Bible. So this is the translation they want you looking at. They're trying to standardize this understanding. They don't want a lot of different translations out there, because that makes you start thinking, well, wait, how can there be different translations? What is the source? Has it been manipulated? And let me look at the other translations, or let me go to the Hebrew. Let me look at Strong's. Let me start picking the words apart and make sure I really understand what this is saying. They don't want you thinking that. They want you to just accept what you're told, okay? So one way of doing that is flooding the United States with these Gideon Bibles, all the same Bibles. So 99% of the Bibles in circulation are all going to be homogeneous, the same translation. Okay? And in the same way that Gideon is this organization to distribute this one version of the scripture, you got Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, in a totally different religion, should be completely unrelated, but it serves sort of the same function of distributing the literature, a standardized literature, standardizing the interpretation or the translation. So, what does this mean? Coincidence? Coinkydink? On the left, we have the logo of the Gideons, the symbol of the Gideons. On the right, we have the symbol of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Remember that Manly P. Hall quote? When man learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from his eyes, or something to that effect. I don't have it here to read it. What does this mean? I don't know what it means. I'm just looking around and pointing out what I see. Now we have more detail in the Bhaktivedanta logo. So if we look at this, I see a really obvious 33 here in the handles. If you look at the handles on either side of the lantern, the jar, whatever you call this, it's also more obviously like a butterfly shape, monarch MK symbol, okay? The monarch MK mind control symbol, the 33. The T part, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I don't know exactly what this means, but I guess what I'm trying to say is there's information that is presented to the masses, a standardized interpretation of these books we have, and there's a concerted effort to discourage people from looking deeper into these texts, what they really mean, if these translations are really useful and acceptable, and how we got the current versions of these texts. I'll tell you another thing too. I don't know what it means either, but reading all the Krishna stuff, it is shocking the parallels of the stories with Jesus in the Bible, Christ. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there's a lot of parallels, like the washing of the feet, sort of different retellings, or I don't know, similar parallel stories. I don't know what that means. Another thing I want to mention, though, is the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust one is upside down. You actually need to flip it for it to match, you see? It's like an upside down candle. It's like the inversion of the Gideon logo, you know? Upside down. And when you put them side by side, there's I can't help but notice the similarity. So, let me know what you think about this, how this happens. Are we opposed by a monolithic entity? The screen. I'm going to cut this video here, make it real short. I might do another one right after this.